Let's take a look at finding points on a number line today. The question asks, which point on the number line best represents 3 and 5/10? That's how we read this number. We have 3 is our whole number here, and then 5/10. The number to the right of the decimal is tenths. Tenths. We get to spit when we say it. So what that means is that there's a space that's divided into 10 pieces. Let's start with this whole number 3. Let's find 3 on the number line. Here's 3 on the number line, 3 whole. We could write it as 3.0. Let's skip over here and look at the next whole number, 4. I can write that as 4.0. And since this is 3 and 5/10, what that's telling me is between here and here, the space is broken up into 10 pieces. So I have this is the first tenth, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10. So we don't say 10/10. We moved up to the next number, 4 whole. Now, I think we found it already when I was counting this out. This is 3 and 1/10. We could write it this way, 3.1. This number on the line, this dot right here, y, is 3 and 2/10. This would be 3 and 3/10, 3 and 4/10, and I think we found what we're looking right for, 3 and 5/10 right there. We found it. Notice that 5/10 is the halfway mark between the 3 and the 4, 3 and 5/10. We found it. Point Z represents 3 and 5/10. Look at all of my answer choices. This is the best answer choice. For the grins of it, let's go back and look at W right here. Let's just practice identifying these points on the number line. I see a whole number here, 2. And it doesn't say over here, but I know this is 1 because I can see I'm going 10, 2, and I have the 10 spaces, and then there's 3, and I have 10 spaces, 4, 10 spaces, and 5. So I can work backwards. Here's 2, and I have these 10 spaces going this way. Backwards is 1. This point right here is halfway between the 1 and the 2. So think to yourself, halfway of 10 is 5. This is 1 and 5/10. Let's look at the x. What would that probably be? I know that this point that's halfway between the 2 and the 3, that would be 2 and 5/10. Let's just count. 2 and 1/10, 2 and 2/10. That x would be 2 and 2/10. We already identified y over here as 3 and 2/10. Okay, that's just a little extra practice. That's not the answer we were looking for. 3 and 5/10 is letter Z, but just taking in some extra practice counting and identifying points on a number line when it's broken into tenths.